Well, I'll gladly tell you after you bring some to me. Sure. Bucking glances at you hopefully. Just watch out, alright? Don't end up someone's lunch. Show me what you got. Hey, I've got a quest. That's a random book. Again, I don't know what these books are for. They have like chains around them. I don't know. He gave us Alchemist Fire, and I remember that cave being a bitch. Honestly, kind of feel like buying even more of them would help. Let's do 20 at, that's 400 gold. Sadly, I feel like it's worth it. They're really, really tough, those spiders. Amiri. We're gonna talk. Amiri utters a weary sigh. Alright, spill it. I'm listening. We're just talking. You don't like it? Amiri shrugs several times, perhaps flexing her muscle, or maybe just filling in the silence. Dunno. She admits at last. Depends what we're gonna talk about. If it's about monsters or swords or scars, I approve. That's good. And if you're gonna ask questions like why and what for and how, screw this. Amiri looks you over slowly head to toe. Or you got even harder ones. Tell me about yourself. The simple question seems to puzzle Amiri. She scratches her head, then starts counting on her fingers. Well, first, I'm a barbarian. I'm strong. I grew up in the realm of the Mammoth Lords. A realm of megafauna inhabited by humans almost as savage as the prehistoric beasts surrounding them. The realm of the Mammoth Lords is a land in Avistan's far north that is home to myriad nomadic tribes of Kelid barbarians. I left my tribes, the Six Bears. Amiri looks doubtfully at her four bent fingers and shrugs. And I like fights, she concludes, bending her thumb. What's it like being a barbarian in the Six Bears tribe? Ha! Our people are big and strong. We can cut a monster in half with one swing. We can walk 3 days and nights with no rest. We can eat a whole fried ark. I guess you had to do a lot of training to become as strong as you are. Training? Ha! No one freaking trained me. The boys of the Six Bears got the training. All I could do was watch. Amiri's eyes gleam with anger. And you know what? They were still crap even after all that training because I kicked their butts hard. Animals, bandits, monsters, all thought they were stronger than me. Idiots. Amiri spits on the ground. Because if you start a fight, you think you can win. You think you're stronger than your enemy. Amiri raises her chin proudly. I defeated them all. See all the scars on my face? Sure. What does the realm of the Mammoth Lords look like? Huge and freezing. No place for weaklings. Amiri narrows her eyes as if evaluating your abilities to survive her own land. Tribes hunt horse herds to survive. Would the horse shut up? Holy shit! Come on, man. Harks are fast, so tribe follows herds for days, just not to die of hunger. If you're weak, you stay behind and die in the snow. Tribe cannot stop. Also, there are giants and mammoths. Sometimes, demons come too. Ah, and the mastodons. And the saber-toothed tiger. Amiri grins. You would survive, I think. For a few days. Ha! Why'd you leave your tribe? Amiri flushes. Because they were assholes, all of them. Men were cowards and scoundrels, and women were scared like sheep. Amiri rolls her bloodshot eyes in fury. Men there think no girls can be a fighter because they're weak. They're afraid a woman can beat them. And females just nod. Go sow hides, cook meat, watch kids. That's what they always say. But I'm a warrior, damn it. I won't cook hides and watch meat. Cook hides and watch meat. Amiri's already shouting, her fist clenched tightly. I told him so. I went hunting with men. And what did I get? Still the same. You're a woman. You stay home. Even gave me a nickname, the Soft Chieftain. Like a warrior woman was a funny joke. Damn, I even went to hunt those shit-faced frost giants. And there, Amiri suddenly stops, breathing heavily, sweat beading on her forehead. After a moment, Amiri waves her hand awkwardly and forces herself to grin. So I left. Cowards, scoundrels, and sissies they were. That's why. You're quite a good fighter. Amiri jerks her head up. Quite good, huh? Compared to who? If I was a scrappy man, I'd fight better. Is that what you say? She glares at you, her eyes narrow. Oh, you say I could be better. Like, go get some training, Amiri, right? You're very good in the fight. You're an excellent warrior. I've just given you a compliment, that's all. For several more seconds, Amiri continues to glare at your face with suspicion. Then, all of a sudden, she mellows. True. I fight good. That's what I do best. You're rather rude, you know? You bet! Amiri grins, then suddenly frowns. I'm a fighter, big and strong. Everyone's afraid of me. I can't play the softie. Who would even fear me then? The contemplative expression disappears from Amiri's face, replaced by a dreamy grin. I enjoy being feared. When I pass by and all the sissies almost faint, knees trembling, teeth chattering, shit dripping down their pants, Amiri falls silent, fascinated with the picture her imagination has created. I love her, man. She's awesome. So why'd you leave your tribe, and what's the story about the frost giant? I told you already. They were assholes. They treat women like sheep, not fighters. Amiri frowns. As for giants, I'll tell you later. Someday, maybe. That's a formidable sword, but it's not just a simple weapon, is it? You bet it's not simple. Check how big it is. She proudly raises the blade, and you notice that even though Amiri is extremely strong, she still has difficulty wielding such a large sword. This sword belongs to a real blasted frost giant. I killed the beast and took his lucre for myself. Fits me perfectly. My damn trophy. Amiri's eyes flashes with menace, as if she's challenging some invisible enemy to try taking away her trophy. I don't need your help anymore. No. Thanks for talking with me. Let's speak again later. Talking. When will we do some monster killing instead? Amiri sighs and turns away.
It is done.
And then she starts fighting again. It's fantastic. I'm going away from the horse. Seriously. Greetings, Valerie sighs. Everything is well, I hope. I'm ready for new orders. Well, tell me about yourself. What exactly would you like to know? I was born to a noble family, though I didn't remain long in the family estate. My father sent me to the Order of the Eternal Rose, but I left once I realized that it didn't match my principle. Where are you from? What was your childhood like? I was born in Brevoy, but in fact I've never seen much of the country. I spent my childhood on a remote estate owned by my noble family. My father is a respectable philanthropist and benefactor of the Church of Shalin. He's also a renowned private collector and a great admirer of the art. My mother saw to my education personally. From my early years, I learned good manners, how to behave at the dinner table, and the proper form of words for every occasion. I also learned the difference between true nobles and low-born upstarts, and I learned how to treat each of them properly. Our home was always under the protection of several paladins of Shalin. My father has donated a handsome sum to their order. One of them, a man of venerable age with a gray beard, once let me touch his shining armor. I still remember the admiration I felt when I touched the cold, polished steel. Valerie smiles. Of all the memories of my childhood, that one is somehow the warmest one. Why were you sent to the Paladin Order of the Eternal Rose? As you can imagine, from my first day I was surrounded by crowds of servants and nannies who never stopped praising my heavenly beauty. The paladins of Shalin who used to visit our house echoed these praises. In the end, general consensus overwhelmed my father's better judgment. When I turned 6, I was brought to the Church of Shalin and told that this would be my new home. Don't pity me though, I beg of you. Many who hear the story immediately assume that my parents were cruel and had no love for their child. Valerie's eyes become stern. My parents had respect for me. They taught me something that has supported me all of my life, a sense of self-esteem. Besides, they didn't abandon me. Once every 6 months, they would come and visit me at the Order of the Eternal Rose. We had some tea, and they had an hour to walk around the garden. Then they would take their leave, as etiquette demanded. What did they teach you in the Order? A variety of things. Some of them appealed to me, others I simply couldn't accept. I enjoyed the physical activities and swordsmanship, but the arts, calligraphy, painting, poetry, and so many other ways to waste one time. Valerie sighs. I guess that deep in my heart I always knew I'd never be a true paladin of Shalene. Wielding a sword always felt more natural to me than handling a paintbrush. Why'd you leave the Order? Because of my heavenly beauty. Valerie winces in contempt. According to Shalene's law, all art is sacred, whatever form it takes. Severe punishment awaits those who dare harm a painting, sculpture, or poem, no matter how worthless the drivel might be. My looks always attracted unwanted attention from the pilgrims and acolytes at the temple. I received my first poem dedicated to me when I was 9. The author was some wealthy geezer. Valerie's lips thin in contempt, and that was only the beginning. Sculptures, pictures, poems, I was drowning in them. My admirers mobbed me, and I had to respectfully accept all their garbage. The clerics of the temple were magnanimous, for my suitors made generous offering to the church, but one time I just snapped. Barely suppressed anger glitters across Valerie's eyes. Some wealthy idiot has dedicated an extremely untalented poem to me, and he had the nerve to read it right to my face, holding my sleeve. The hour was late, and I was on my way to get some rest after a boring lesson on rhymes. I lost control and tore the poem apart, right in front of him. Valerie raises her head proudly. The paladins wanted to impose some punishment upon me. I don't remember which one exactly. They wanted me to repent. Instead, I just gathered my things and left. What did you do after you left the Order? I set off for Restov. Valerie shrugs. I wanted to get as far away as possible from Shalene at this and the destiny everyone seemed so ready to force upon me. Besides, the School of Swordsmanship in Restov has quite a decent reputation. Honestly, I was hoping for an opportunity to learn from the famous Aldori masters. Eventually, it became clear that their technique wasn't a good fit for me. They teach to avoid impact, whereas I prefer to raise my shield. But my ability and skills, which I'd learned at the Order of the Eternal Rose, were enough to make the Sword Lords take an interest in me. They offered me a chance to join the mercenaries who served the Sword Lords, and I accepted. I bet your beauty inspired many people in the Order. Valerie's gaze suddenly becomes cold. And here I'd hoped to avoid the question. She exhales loudly. Well, let's get this over with. Once and for all, you should understand that I'm perfectly aware that most races, orders, and genders find me physically attractive. It's beyond my power to change that, but I've never given a potential admirer any reason to start a conversation with me. But it doesn't stop them. After leaving the Order, I took a dagger and cut off the long hair they used to praise. Well, now I get letters praising the beauty of my eyes. It was because of my appearance that I ended up in the Order of the Eternal Rose, though I never wanted to be a paladin. It was because of my beauty that an infinite number of suitors have pursued me, all of them confusing simple politeness with hints of affection. Valerie clenches her fists. But do you know what I really want? I want people to stop treating me like a piece of art. I want them to notice that I am a person, that I'm capable of something more than smiling for paintings, where I sit wearing a lacy satin dress, holding a basket of peaches in my lap. Is that too much to ask? The last question comes out in a shout, though Valerie doesn't seem to realize it. Thank you for your honesty. I understand you very well. You are a true friend who I can trust with my life. I'm truly happy that you understand me. Thank you. Valerie smiles at you gratefully, and the smile is full of warmth that you've never expected from someone as stern as Valerie. You suddenly realize that you're smiling back at her. Tell me about the way of Shalene and about her paladins. Shalene is a goddess of love, beauty, and art. Her paladins are something like armored artists. That's how they like to think of themselves, at least. Valerie tries to contain her feeling, but her inner contempts burst forth. They're fanatical defenders of worthless, inartistic paintings and meaningless opuses, if you care to know my opinion. You speak of Shalene with such contempt. What did the goddess of beauty do to earn your anger? She's been trying to ruin my life, Valerie snorts. Shalene, the goddess of everything useless that ever existed in this life. All the beauty in the world, all the art, all the soulful sighs in the moonlight, they'll never feed a single family. And I beg you to restrain yourself from offering your own opinion. Trust me, I've heard everything you can tell me, more than once. Nothing and nobody can change my mind. Valerie looks at you with suspicion. As for Shalene, she's the goddess of idlers. I almost joined her preposterous entourage. I'm just glad I was smart enough to denounce her while I still could. What do paladins of Shalene usually do? They wander around seeking the next pile of garbage, and when they find it, they call it an immortal piece of art and admire it until they're blue in the face. You might not believe this, but the paladins of Shalene aren't allowed to slay their enemies if they beg for mercy. Can you guess why? Because a bandit, rapist, or murderer who has been put to the sword will never be able to create something beautiful in the future. So a paladin overpowers their enemy in battle, then inspire him to create a masterpiece. Valerie's face reflects extreme disgust. It might sound hilarious if it weren't true. Plus, all of Shalene's followers are obliged to practice some sort of art in his or her free time. Every single day, no matter what else is going on, even if you're feeling sick or hungry or sleepy. Otherwise, according to their clerics, you lose your connection with your goddess. A preposterous notion, wouldn't you agree? I understand that not every piece of art is good or even decent, but surely there must be at least a few great works among them. Is that what you think? Valerie curves an eyebrow, mocking amazement. Many share that delusion. I was deluded too for a while. Now I consider all works of art useless. People create this garbage because they have nothing better to do. The peasant doesn't paint a picture, he plows the earth to feed his family. The soldier has no time for sculptures, he must defend his own land. But idlers and slackers have plenty of time to waste, so they smear canvases with paint and imagine they've done something worthy and valuable. Valerie shakes her head in disapproval. Yeah. You said that every paladin must practice some kind of art. What kind of art did you pursue? Ah, that. I used to embroider, and I still do from time to time. A treacherous blush covers Valerie's cheeks. It's nothing, I assure you. Just a simple task to keep my hands busy and keep the gloomy thoughts at bay. Nothing special. So you're an atheist. You don't worship any deity. Right, I need no guidance from above. I have my own good conscience and my leader's orders to live by. You know, you don't have to follow etiquette and maintain good manners while speaking with me, if you don't want to. I'm aware of that, Valerie sighs, but I'm sure you understand that I am what I am. That's how I was brought up. First by my parents and then by the mentors in the order. Besides, I was born into a noble family. Valerie raises her chin proudly, so I'd rather enjoy the idea that my manner of speech differs a bit from the common language of the peasantry. You just can't imagine how many social climbers have bowed politely the moment I opened my mouth. I guess you have plenty of suitors. Valerie rolls her eyes. Sadly, you're right to suppose that. Even here, in these remote lands, one can find offspring of many noble houses, and all of them consider it their duty to kneel before me, begging me to walk with them in the garden. Valerie's voice overflows with contempt. If words were poison, you'd be dying a horrible death. Oh, and don't forget about the village hoofs. They understand the concept of nobility perfectly well, so they realize they'll be punished if they dare make any advance towards me, so they prefer to stare from a distance, drooling. And believe me, I can very well imagine what they discuss in the taverns. Valerie shivers and jerks her shoulders, as if trying to shed the sticky, disgusting stares. You know, you're so eager to follow my orders. Why? What do you mean, why? Valerie looks at you in bewilderment. I follow your orders. I've joined your campaign because I have faith in you. I believe your intentions to be noble, though things may not always turn out as you've planned. You are my commander. Your orders are law. It's my duty to follow them. Valerie hesitates for a moment. Well, so long as you don't order me to do something that's absolutely dishonorable, but that would never happen, I hope. You know, you really are quite beautiful. You're a reliable friend and a worthy ally, but would be a crime to ignore your beauty. Valerie gives you a stony look. I sincerely hope your words carry nothing more than mere politeness. Baby cat, guys. It's baby cat time. No, she's so
You got the love. You got the love. You got the love.
She actually walked on that specific key on the keyboard. It's perfect. For the moment, yes, I'm not going to stalk you like your admirers, but I wanted you to know that I've noticed you. Valerie folds her arms across her chest. In that case, I must confess, even if I were to enter a courtship, I'd prefer a relationship with a man. I beg your pardon if I disappointed you. That is so interesting. That is so cool. So I thought at first it was just going to be like male or female, doesn't matter. The text is going to be the same because the devs didn't give characters like a preference towards a specific gender or whatever. But no, actually, that's so cool. She says that she'd prefer to be with a man, which means that, wow, that's really cool. I like it. Okay. Cool. Okay. Nice. So that means that
Follow me.
I can't have a relationship with her because I'm a female. I wonder who I can have a relationship with. I hope there's at least another female character in the game that it's possible to have a relationship with. I hope. Shit, man. We rested and nobody's rested. Like, literally nobody. We're all Earth. Maybe we should sleep again. Maybe that'd be best. Aha! Yep. Everybody's good. Man, it's raining again. Wow. Just never stops raining. All right, and on that note, we're gonna call it a night for now, and we're gonna pick this up tomorrow. We're gonna pick this up tomorrow at 7 p.m. EDT, probably even sooner than that. We'll see. But the plan is to play more of this, obviously tomorrow during the day. We're gonna have one more horror games, guys. That game is gonna be not this week, but next week on Tuesday. We're going to be playing Call of Cthulhu. So, in the meantime, though, we're going to be playing this game. So, this game we're going to be playing tomorrow. We're going to be playing Wednesday. We're going to be playing Friday during the day. Not an evening stream, but during like a day stream. Because I have the day off. So, we should be streaming a lot of that game the coming days. Basically, the entire week except for Thursday night. And then on Monday, we'll be streaming a lot of that game again. So that's all going to be Pathfinder. The goal is to make a big push in Pathfinder. I would love to get a real, really good going in that game. I also want to keep some time as soon as we're done with Call of Cthulhu. I want to take the time to complete Pathfinder, Bard's Tale, and Grim Dawn. So we'll focus on those 3 games at first. Then, just so you guys have a rough idea of where we're going with this. Then we're going to be playing Assassin's Creed and Thronebreaker, the Witcher game. So these are the games that I'm planning to play like in the coming weeks, just to give you a rough idea. So we're going to have a lot of RPGs, a lot of cool stuff going on, and I'm very excited. So guys, thank you so much for watching the stream again. I love your faces. Thank you very, very much for the support. I'm sorry this was a very read-heavy episodes. We've done all the lore bits. All of that's done. So now what's left is a lot of action. So tomorrow's stream should be tons of fighting, tons of exploring the map, and really cool stuff going on. The lore dump has been completed. So yeah, it's going to be great. So guys, see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. EDT, maybe sooner, for more Pathfinder. And until then, stay safe, stay awesome, guys. Bye-bye.